Hello, and welcome back to 16 Candlekeeps, the place where two people didn't need death saves last episode. Spoilers.
Oh god.
It's technically...
Too soon.
It's not too
Been
soon.
2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks for the audience.
It still feels like it was only 15 minutes ago for me.
I was about to say it's been 15 minutes for us. Loot break and death save. That's all it was. Anyway, she's stable, don't worry. The character, on the other hand. Right.
Yeah, the character is not stable.
To remind us.
Jade's fine. Jade is fine.
Is she?
To remind ourselves what's going on in this madness. We have been travelling into the Dungeon of the Dead Free. You guys came in through a secret entrance in the bathhouse, down into some flooded cistern areas where these dungeons have been made out of the old sewer system of Baldur's Gate. You have travelled in, found some cultists that tried to hoodwink you, and then another room where you nearly hoodwinked the others, and then freed a small shopkeep who was being tortured by the now dead cultists. He warned you not to go to the left exit of the room, as that's where they make zombies, and told you that the dungeon heads off further into the door down the far end of the room to the southeast of where you would have entered previously. Right, we currently have a snoozing Katherine and a very low hit point barbarian, and I think Winston's alright, apart from spell slots.
Yep.
Good.
Oh god.
Totally fine.
Level 2! But yes, what would you guys like to do?
Well, instant realization is that we have not turned over these bodies, so I'm gonna loot some.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with make an investigation check to see if you find anything fun on them.
I mean, probably nothing fun. What is happening with my dice rolls again? That is a 7.
A 7. You find not a lot on them. They're very limited in anything on them other than their armor and their weapons. However, the lass has a set of keys on her.
Ooh, jeez.
That look to be smaller than a door key. So you imagine they are from where you have been. These are keys for manacles. There are 7 keys on the ring.
I mean,
She might have had them, and that would have saved Cheryl from having to attack
but I'm just gonna like hide them away before Cheryl sees them. But like, well, you know, we don't want to hurt her feelings. Obviously, that was the only way. Was obviously to attack these. I'll just put these, just pop these away here.
Yeah, that was a reason. Yeah. I was going to say I got a 22 on the investigation check. If that turned up more stuff. If it's just
fine with the
keys, then we're good. I have not seen the keys.
Nope.
Winston has hidden them.
I've got the keys. I've got the secret.
Okay, we should probably get out of this room.
Absolutely not. No, we need to rest. No, we cannot move on. We are going to need to, like, barricade ourselves into here. And we're just going to take a little nap.
Okay, you're going to try barricade the room.
Yep.
What are we barricading this room with?
That is the next
Corpses.
Corpses?
Corpses.
So you have...
And that's why
You have 2 exits to this room that you can see as you walk around that aren't currently barred by a door. So actually it's 3, including the entrance. So if I go back over to our battle map, so we can use that because I've marked them on there. Let's go this way. There we go. So our lovely audience can see. So you came in through the northeast entrance of the battle map area. where the corridor leads down into this kind of rectangular room. There are 3 exits altogether. There's the door in the southeast, which I will now move one of the dead bodies into, just so you've got a marker for now.
Sure. Thank you.
That's where the door is. You've got another corridor that goes down this way. It goes immediately in and then around right as you walk in, which you believe then would link up, if I just use Katherine for the sake of a sleepy body, is the corridor that we were told not to go down because they make zombies down there. This small alcove here has a suit of armor.
I love that you've put the half-dying person in the zombie corridor. Thanks.
Yeah. You're sleeping. You've got a suit of armor that's in this little alcove here, but there's essentially a corridor that runs down behind these 2 here, and then goes off further down to the right, that you can see with the little light that is coming from that torch behind you on the altar. But other than that, there are no other exits or entrances to this room. How would you like to barricade?
You can't actually use Katherine, that's rude.
I wasn't suggesting Katherine, no.
We have in the way of equipment. No.
The glasses are off. I am prepared to fight again.
Definitely not. Glasses are off. She will murder you once she wakens.
Fine, it'll give her some incentive to wake up.
Don't barricade the door with your friend. Okay. What equipment do you have that we could use to put in front of the door? Do you have anything?
I am happy for you to go through my belongings. In my belongings are several things that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. I've got things like crowbars and hammers and tins. And crowbar. Lots of rope.
Can we crowbar?
You said there was a suit of armor.
Yes, in the alcove to the north of the altar, there is a suit of armor.
The one opposite my corpse.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it on like a mannequin or something, or is it? It's
stood on a armor stand. It's typical kind of plate armor. The helm is missing from the weird wooden skull that is there, but the breastplate, the gauntlets, and like the kind of like midriff area are all hanging from this kind of stand. If you'd like to try and move it.
Yeah, I mean, I will politely ask Cheryl to move it. Yep.
I will move it.
How are we moving? Are you just picking the entire thing up on the stand, or are you taking it off the stand?
Pick it up on the stand.
Easiest. Yeah.
Dance it along.
That's cool. And whereabouts?
Dance it along. Probably. I'm assuming we want to put it where Katherine is, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So you place it blocking that way.
We'll stick Katherine in the alcove. We'll just swap places with them so she can. She'll be safe out of the way.
And then at least if any shuffling zombies come along, they're gonna clank into that. We're gonna have like an alarm call then.
Oh no!
Like, we need to move.
A good system.
Lovely. And with the other 2 exits, how are you trying to barricade those?
Probably so the ones that have got the bodies in front of them.
Yes. So you've got a doorway. Yes. These are all. They've also got water in them that you can see. So the one at the south of the room is just a corridor leading back round off that one that you've put the armor blocking.
Is the water deep enough that anything we put in it is going to be swept away, is it just?
It's about 2 foot deep.
Oh shit! Quite deep.
You've been wading through it essentially.
Yeah, that's deeper than I thought. If we sit them down, they're likely to just
through it. We'll also be wading through it.
Yeah, and we'll probably hear some things splashing along.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've got some rope, so I'm thinking of making just like a just a line across the doorway or the opening, so that we can have some cartoon style. They run along and then
that's cool.
Hopefully decapitate themselves. Not that we saw that in any cartoons. Are there any hooks or anything onto the wall that you could sort of tie rope onto?
It looks to be just an empty room, other than this altar down the far end that's just a block of stone that's in the ground. There's very little in this room other than that suit of armour and these 2 dead bodies.
I really wanted to string up the 2 bodies like in an X in the doorway, so kind of just blocking the entire doorway, and that way they won't risk floating off. But if there's nothing to attach rope to, then I probably won't do that.
Yeah, you'd have to make some sort of way to attach the rope if you were going to do said thing.
What is in my bag? Got anything I can do that with?
Yeah, I mean, the most that I've got is mage hand. That's not gonna only last for a minute.
Yeah, I've not got anything either. Gonna help.
Let's just rest them in the doorways
Let's
and just hope
rest them in
that
the
it
door.
works.
Yes.
What weapons did they have on them? Was it a spear?
Yes, so the lady had a spear, and the gentleman had a mace.
Cool. Let's just put the spear through the body and just, have that there as just a little bit of an extra in the way-ness.
Yeah.
Lovely. Is that both bodies are going in one entrance, or are you doing one in each? Sorry, just so I'm...
One in each.
One in each.
Lovely.
It's going to cause enough of a problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
We'll have enough time to wake up, I think.
Yep.
One of them is currently slumped against the wall, kind of a seated position, the way I'm understanding this, because you have no way to hold it up.
Yeah.
And then in the other doorway, you have one. Is it still slumped, but with a spear in it, or is it just like in a block way? So
pretty much, yeah.
That's fine.
Pretty much just slumped with a spear in it.
Spear in the doorway or in the corridor way?
Corridor way.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So, with that, are you comfortable enough to start resting?
Yes.
Yes. While I was moving the suit of armour, can I have investigated it to see if there was anything about it other than it just being a suit of armour?
Yeah, make an investigation check for me.
19.
19. I'm going to go just because of your background with being a soldier and knowing different armour sets that you would have worked with. You recognise this to be full breastplate armour. It is like one of the most expensive sets of armour, and is normally used by quite large knight kind of figures. You do notice, and you are glad for not taking them off, that there are telltale arcane runes in the side of the gauntlets that make them flying gauntlets.
Okay.
You have seen them used before. They're a trick that squires used to play on each other in your training, where the arcane, if anyone but the owner of the armour uses them, they attack whoever touches them.
Okay. I'll point the breastplate out to Winston and suggest that if you would like to wear more armour, here is a breastplate.
Doesn't really
wear the gauntlet.
go with my look, if I'm entirely honest. But thank you. If I'm honest, I really don't think I could even actually carry it around long enough. I'd probably be more of a hindrance than a help. So
right.
I think we're about ready to take a nap, aren't we?
See you when you wake up.
Lovely. So, are you both just sleeping, or is anyone keeping a watch?
I'm keeping a watch. I don't want to. I want to rest to get the hit points, but I'll keep watch because Winston needs spell slots.
Well, as long as you're not physically doing anything, the fact of sitting,
I can
watching, as long as you are kind of like in a rested position, it constitutes a rest, is how we've always done it.
Yeah. Cool.
So
I shall keep watch while Winston does sleep-ins.
Before anyone hits long rest. Because you're in a dungeon, guys. Hour 3. Katherine wakes up with 1 hit point.
Good.
Can you make a perception check for me, please, Cheryl, as you're keeping watch?
16.
16. I'm going to say when Katherine wakes up, you're welcome to do whatever you'd like. You can explain the situation. She can also join in sleeping or whatever you guys would like to do.
Sleep, Katherine, it's fine.
And say, bitch has a concussion. She needs sleep.
She needs sleep.
Well, on a concussion, you shouldn't sleep for 12 hours.
No, as long as someone's watching you, it's okay.
Exactly. As long as we can wake her up.
I have some experience with a concussion in real life.
Yes.
I'm teasing. So you sleep. They explain what they've done in the room. They explain that they're just keeping an eye out whilst you try to hunker down. Around an hour later, after you've explained this, you hear shambling coming from down that corridor, which you've put the armour in.
Odd.
At the time of this happening, I've got to try and make rules for this now, because this isn't what happens in the book. You're meant to have died by now.
Just before you say your next thing,
Yep.
How many hit points have we recovered by sitting and Winston sleeping?
None, because you have to finish the long rest to get hit points.
Okay.
You're in a dungeon with things happening, so as you're trying to get them back, you would hear shambling coming down from a corridor, and then a scratchy voice shouting, "No! No!" As you hear something charge into the armour. What would you do with this information? Because you have said you're listening out for things.
Up and go over cautiously to the armour, see what the F has gone on.
Okay, I'm going to say, can Katherine and Winston make perception checks for me, just to see if the noise is loud enough to wake you up out of your resting?
Oh yeah, I'm awake.
Oh, well, actually, you're a half elf. Yeah, you have trance, don't you?
No. Just that was a 20. That was a 20 on the die anyway. Perfect. Like I'm all good.
Yep. How's Katherine looking?
My perception.
13.
13. I'm going to say yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going with just a basic. If it was a lower than 10, you would have been like, no, I'm still sleeping. But you both wake to the sound of the crashing of the armour being knocked over. As Cheryl, you said you're walking over there. You see falling to the ground, gnashing claws and teeth into the armour. Going hell for leather on the armour is a corpse just slamming into it. Down the other side of the corridor, just through the little light that you've got, you can see an elderly woman with spindly grey hair, a grey kind of like shirt on, with trousers. She looks to have rips and such, where claws have clawed into her clothes. She, seeing you at the other end of the corridor, is going to... let me just double check something here. Where has she gone? There she is. She's in this room, please. I want to be fair before I do something silly. No, she has got it. Could you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Sure. 20. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20.
Yep.
You take 17 points of fire damage.
Then I'm dead. I'm very dead. I'm on -12.
You didn't take your full hit points minus, so you're not dead. You're unconscious.
Okay.
Good,
I'm unconscious.
For Katherine and Winston, as you are awoke by the sound of crashing and you see Cheryl walking over to see this, Cheryl, you see this old lady in the very bedraggled looking suit, grey spindly hair, looks up, just raises a hand and casts fireball down the corridor. It slams into the back wall behind you, so it's been badly aimed, but you are singed as it scorches across your back. You manage to jump out of the way just in time. I would say, which way would you dive if you saw this happening? Behind the altar, or towards the other guys down the other side of the room?
Behind the altar to the right.
Okay, lovely. With this, I'm going to have to play it a bit more in initiative fashion, but you don't have to fight if you're not wanting to fight, because obviously it's just to make sure that everyone is having fairness in what's going on, so I'm not pinning you into a position or anything like that. Could I have everyone roll initiative, please?
6 for Cheryl.
6 for Cheryl, and I have fixed my app now, so Cheryl is Cheryl.
Yeah!
17.
17 for Winston.
21.
21 for Katherine.
Woohoo!
Lovely.
Oh.
I do apologise to be a dick on this one, but you haven't finished a long rest yet, so you haven't got spell slots or HP back, apart from your 1 hit point, Katherine. So we're going to say that Cheryl has darted behind the altar over here. Where would you guys be sleeping in the room with this knowledge?
Katherine was in the alcove right opposite.
I mean, I was shoved in the alcove.
Oh yeah, you were shoved in the alcove.
Yeah, we shoved her in there.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm
She's
exactly
straight
where
in
that
its path.
fireball's landed.
I didn't think of that. You did wake
Maybe
up,
we
though.
shouldn't have put her in there. Oh, Winston, we did a bad thing. We did a bad thing. We shouldn't have put her in there.
Could you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh my god!
Katherine.
Sure. Why
Because you
not?
were awake.
God, if I die in my disguise, Steve.
Oh shit.
7.
7.
Yeah.
That's a dead, isn't it?
Oh, she's dead. She's dead.
You take the full damage because you failed.
God.
So 30. The brain has forgotten numbers. 34, I believe, was. Sorry, because I've come off my roll off here, because 17 times 2 would be 34. How many hit points total did you have?
15.
Cool. We'll hold that in mind. Winston, where were you sleeping?
I mean, this is the awkward situation, because obviously I'd have been helping to look after the body.
Could you roll a dexterity saving?
Yeah.
Please? So you'd be up here as well, in the blast radius.
Wizards are really good at dex, right?
I don't know, what's your stat?
Yeah.
I'm really nervous now.
I mean, I've rolled 11.
11 plus?
2, so nice 13.
So you take the 34 points of damage too? How's Winston looking?
I mean, he's a wizard. I think you know the answer to that one.
I just wanted the satisfaction. No, I didn't want the
I
satisfaction.
think what you're looking at is actually a lovely barbecue pair of spare ribs.
Yeah.
Jesus H. Feck. She would immediately see people doing this and would have cast it. So, yeah, it happens. I can't retroact it now.
No.
Go back and save the characters by not being stupid.
Let's go back. Edit the previous bit where we said we put Katherine in the alcove, and then
so you
I'll be in the corner out of the way.
20.
Yeah.
Hello. You may have noticed a slight change in the surroundings. And there was a little bit of a screen swipe or something that Liam did amazingly for the video. And I'm not going to put anything on it because then I don't get blamed for the quality of what the swipe should have been. I just forced the swipe to be needed. So, for those that were paying attention in the last few minutes, there has been a TPK. Take a moment to mourn the loss of 3 very good characters. But now we get new fancy ones.
R.I.P.
Pouring some out for one's homies.
Yeah. Unfortunately, for those of you that have been reading or watched any sort of Baldur's Gate, that dungeon is a ridiculous thing for level 2, and I will stand on my my hill that I die on that says that shouldn't be there. However, let's continue.
It's the hill that we died on instead.
Yes.
Yeah.
The hill that had a fireball dropped on it, because they didn't tell me to use fireball, but also she sees people quite big and burly wiping out a room that she normally has people quite big in. She's going to defend herself the way she knows. So yes, now for a little bit of a sojourn. Outside in Baldur's Gate, things have changed slightly. To Captain Zodge's knowledge, he had sent 3 people off to look into some murders and warned them very cautiously about going into the bathhouse to investigate the dungeon that potentially this cult had been working out of, knowing nothing about the labyrinthine outpost that was below. 3 days pass, and the commotion of several people coming out of the bathhouse is enough to stir intrigue, but also further adding to that pot is the sudden closing of the bathhouse. Arriving into the city unaware of any of this is a boat coming from the frosty north of Icewind Dale, the most recent of boats down this way. The last dropped off supplies and certain valuables that are used in the trade and commerce between the larger civilization areas of the Sword Coast. This one being a cargo ship, more in the mind of people than possessions. Stepping down the gangplank onto a scummy looking port at the best of times, we would see 2 new people at least in the midst all of the swirling cacophony of people and hawkers trying to sell their wares to anyone who's just off the boat. Jade and or Liam, at your own position, would you like to introduce our new PCs?
Ladies first.
We're mixing it up. Okay. Very good question. What do I look like? So you will see a 4'7" teeny tiny drow. She's got like lilac-y purple skin. I haven't obviously done that today. It's too quick. But yes, she's got white hair that's braided back in a very fancy fashion again. Purple eyes, very very purple eyes. That's like the first thing that you see after lilac skin. She's wearing blue, like pale blues, greys and whites armor. She's very much looking like a fighter in fightery garb. She has a rapier in in her right hand side, and no, her left hand side, and a whip is attached to the belt on her left hand side, and then on her back is a long bow and quiver. She's got an air of authority about her, but doesn't manage to pull it off next to the other one.
And who would be stood next to
her? So there would be another drow, very, very similar lilac skin and purple eyes, although somewhat more dim than the bright eyes of the other drow. Standing at a tall 5 foot, and weighing in at 130 pounds. His hair is tied back and in a bit of a, would we call it a top knot? Would we call it a man bun? Either way, it's just to keep it out of his eyes. Leathers and furs, as he's dressed in cold weather gear, with a mask covering over his mouth and nose. Lots of whites and greys and blues. Carrying a bow with a quiver at his hip. And he will be looking around at all of the people as they are making port.
Lovely. Looking around, you see a myriad of the Icewind Dalians, those from Icewind Dale, making their way down to warmer climates. Some are traders selling off more exotic kind of jewelries and rugs and different kind of like austere but quite beautiful looking eccentric items that people can add to their homes that you can't get anywhere else down past the throat of the world. You see those that aren't getting off the boat. You see it's a water bus. It's fine. The wheels don't go round because they can't reach the bottom of the... Anyway, you see a myriad of different people, all very tan skin, very kind of hard looking. You've come into what's referred to as Lower City, which is kind of more the working class area of the city itself. And you're quite literally in the most working class area of it, in the docks themselves, as you've got stevedores and wharf masters walking around making sure ships and such are being filled to the best of their ability. You can actually notice as you look around that it looks like people are trying to leave more than enter the city. There's a lot of people trying to board ships to leave as you arrive. What would you two fine drow like to do on a day such as this? By the way, it's the 15th of Flame Rule for anyone who's keeping track.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, let's start by changing out my dice. Hope it goes better for me this time.
Same.
So... I guess we should probably be stepping off. Triss, did you have any idea where we were meant to be headed?
I would probably say towards some form of garrison. Maybe. Perhaps. Because we can't find him. He's undressed.
Very well. You there? And he'll just try and grab whoever's near.
Yep, you grab a scruggly looking ship hand who just goes, yeah, boss, what's happening?
Could you point us in the direction of your local garrison?
Yeah, 10 seconds as I just think about it. It's been a while since I've been in port myself. As he pulls up his map of Baldur's Gate. Excuse me. Where's my Baldur's Gate map? There it is. You would be pointed into... You'd actually be pointed into the centre of the city itself from where you are, towards the... I can't remember what the actual centre gate is called. I apologise, they've not actually given much in terms of description of the city.
Or is that the outer one?
So you're within the centre of the city itself rather than the outer walls.
Right, okay.
So it would be... This is where... It's close to where the heap gate was, where you went in to see. There it is. Perfect. You would be sent towards Gond Gate. Excuse me for not having that to the side of me. He suggests that the closest ones are normally on the wall between Lower City and Upper City. Just walk into town and you'll find a large castle-like wall near the gate in the centre of it, leading into the other side of the city. There's normally a guardhouse near it, the closest one being Gond Gate, which is Gund.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's not going to say anything in response to that. Just nod and then just walk straight that way.
Lovely. You both pick up pace and start heading in the direction. With the fact that you've been given directions, I'm not going to make you do an investigation check or anything like that. You can find your way towards the building where you can see a flood of people coming in and out of this building. It's your typical kind of like two-story building. Looks like a house that's been converted that sits right back against the main kind of like castle wall between. You can see a couple of feet down the way a portcullis that leads into Upper City where there are guards standing either side of the portcullis. But in this building here you can see a lot of people coming in and out and a hustle and bustle of jeering and shouting from inside as a lot of people are apparently trying to get the information before you hear just like a gunshot come from inside and hear a loud cawing of, "Listen, I don't give a shit about who wants to get what next. It'll be done in an orderly fucking manner. Now get out, find a number, and we'll order you one by one." What would you like to do?
Should we be getting a number?
You can happily get the number. You hearing this and walking over, you see there is a paper, basically like your ticket machine in an arcade. They've got little sheets that you're just pulling off, and each one has a consecutive number up. Currently, the next available number is 84 and 85. And you can see they've put out some like benches out in front of the building where people can sit and wait. There are a couple of spaces available should you like to sit down, or if you'd like to stand and wait. You hear the next number being called is 65 as you grab a number.
I'm not sitting. I will stand.
This could take a while. So we'll take the numbers, and then can I look around and see if I can see anyone with a lower number?
Yeah, cool. Make a perception check.
Okay, so that is 17.
17. In the far side of this kind of little area they've put, you can see someone leaning against the wall. They look to be stood leaning nonchalantly, but as you just passing to get a rough idea of what, you can hear the gentle sounds of snoring. They look to have their eyes covered by some sort of like spectacles, quite bright coloured looking. In fact, Emma, what would this person look like leaning against the wall?
This person is a half elf. They are considerably taller than the other two, edging towards 6 feet. Bright, loud colours, open neck shirt, high gelled hair, sunglasses. Very loud, very clashing colours, but it would be a shirt, trousers, boot. This is Aquo.
Lovely. So you see excuse me, I haven't taken names, so we've got Jaquo. Liam, what would you like me to refer to yourself as from now on?
Isdrill.
Isdrill. Lovely.
Isdrill.
And last but not least, Jade?
Trisura. But there's like an apostrophe between the T and the R.
Sorry, my line went quiet there. Trisura, was that?
Yeah, Trisura.
Trisura.
But all in one word.
Lovely. Lovely. So yes, Israel, you would see this figure, and you can see in the crook of the arms where they've been folded, people have just been sticking the numbers there as they've gone off and not really cared. You can actually see that there are 69, 70, and 71 all in like consecutive lines that have been stuck in the arms as they're just snoozing against the wall.
Fantastic. Let's take the two lower numbers and switch out for the other one that I've got on me.
Jaquo, can you make a perception check with disadvantage?
Oh, let me just flip screens to get my perception check with disadvantage.
I mean, you're a bard, it doesn't matter.
My perception's already -4 and I love it.
What the Jesus!
I know. Well, let's just go for a 0, shall we? Because the first number I rolled was a 2.
You are the best bard I've ever seen.
I know. Oh. So dumb. He's so dumb.
Oh my sweet Jesus! I will look at his character sheet after this.
All of his points went on his charisma, and then went. It's fine. Everything else is a bit shit.
Lovely.
-4 seems like a lot, actually, but you know.
Have a look at it
fine.
Afterwards. It's fine. Jaquo.
Oh, I've realised why it's gone to -4, and it shouldn't be that at all.
Go on.
Don't worry. When I made the character sheet, it didn't type in the number I actually put there, and it put my wisdom down as 1. What it should have been was 17.
Okay, so
I've just seen it.
2 plus, if 17, that would be +3. So you got a 5. So it's still not good.
Got 5. It's still rubbish, but it's better than
it's better than
minus
0.
numbers.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
you have like a moment where you've not noticed it. You've been stood there since 6 a.m. this morning when you finished drinking and decided to go have a chat at the guest house, but then realised that they hadn't opened yet. So you decided that you'd take a little nap and wait for them to wake you up when they came in, obviously. But you have not been awoke since. So yes, for our 2 drow friends, you now have 69 and 70 as your numbers. Lovely. What would you guys like to do with it as you wait for your numbers to call out? So the next one, you're about 3 away from being seen, essentially.
Just watch. I would people watch.
Yeah.
Observe everyone.
That's cool. You start to watch these people coming in and out, and the people who are just passing you as well. There is a general hubbub about the city. A lot of people are talking about moving out of the city, but having no idea where to go. The boats apparently are all packed heading towards Waterdeep. Let me just pull up a map so I can get a rough idea of other things. But yeah, you've been told that with the fact that Alterel has fallen and the fact that the boats are now packed on their way to Waterdeep, people are struggling for ideas. Some people are suggesting that there needs to be a reach out to Candlekeep for a diplomatic kind of congregation between Baldur's Gate and Candlekeep to set up like a refugee camp or some sort of thing, or maybe give them asylum in Candlekeep whilst the city is currently in peril, which you yourselves will know stories of, as you have heard of. Elturel has recently fallen. It seems to be spreading across the world like wildfire that this entire city has disappeared, more so that it's apparently a religious hub of most of the Sword Coast. But it's only a couple of minutes until you are then called out. You hear 69 is called as the next number, as you're both together. Would you go together?
Jaquo Jaquo wakes up on the shout of 69.
Of course he does.
It's custom.
Of course he does.
Why would he not?
So
Me! That's me! Was me.
Yeah, you look down, you don't have 69. You have 85, 86, and 71.
Been a mistake. I was definitely 69. I remember, because it's a funny number.
All
We
right.
should go quickly. Let's go.
Stealthily moving to the front.
That's cool.
Hang on! No! One of them stolen my 69.
Stepping out of the building to deal with this is a quite tall, stood about 7 foot Goliath. Grey skin, tattoos of sea leviathans running from his forehead back and down his back. He has a chiseled beard, has a bandolier across his chest, which have 2 pistols in holsters and a couple of bullets either side, and has 2 scimitars that sit either side of his waist on his belt. And he steps out and, right, okay, right, we'll deal with the 3 of you at the same fucking time if it's going to be this. What?
Excuse me, super tall gunman. I had 69, because I remember, and one of them is claiming to have 69, which means one of them stole it from me. Because now I have stupid numbers.
I'm going to refer
aren't
to
funny.
you as headache. Headache, shut it.
Just say Jaquo. Please be quiet. But
Headache,
whatever.
shut it. Excuse me. Elven visitors, I have not had the pleasure. Please, how may I be of assistance today? Keeps giving like dirty looks towards Jaquo.
We were wondering if you had any news of Ulder Ravengard?
No, we've been looking for information on the Grand Duke since his disappearance with Elturel's fall. He was on a diplomatic visit over that way. Have you information?
No. Actually, that's what we were hoping to gather. I should just pointedly look at Israel.
We have been sent to investigate the circumstances surrounding his disappearance and to ensure that nothing like the circumstances that befell Elturel will occur to anyone else's homes.
Well, you are a welcome visit, is all I will say. We've had nothing but people wanting us to sort it, and I haven't got the manpower or the coffers to fill it. If you want to go speak with the Basilisk Gate, Captain Zodge down that way had a couple of people looking into that a couple of days ago, but I've not had reports from that since. It's towards the east of the city. Follow the wall along till you hit the outer wall of the city. Then follow that down and you'll hit the gate. It's only about an hour's walk from here if you want to head on down. But I apologise I couldn't give any more information on that one here.
What is this Candlekeep that people are mentioning around here, and why are they not assisting you?
Candlekeep is a fortress to the south of here. Well, it's for want of a better word, it's a very protected library. The city of Candlekeep are the home of knowledge throughout the entire of the Sword Coast. They do not allow outsiders in to protect said knowledge, and they very rarely send people out of it either. It's kind of akin to a monastery for books and information, if you will.
The place where pretentious arseholes go.
And Headache's gonna shut up.
I thank you for your time, and since you care so deeply about this piece of paper with this very specific number, here you go. Jaquo, or was it Headache?
Jaquo. Thank you for giving me my 69. But gotta laugh.
I
69.
bid you good day.
Not.
I'm afraid the joke has fallen on lost on me. I don't understand why this is meant to be.
Fine. Don't worry about it.
What do you want?
It's going to take too long to explain. What do I want?
Yeah.
This. And now I've got it. Which means I can go to the front.
And I'm asking you what you want.
Fame, fortune, and worldly renown.
I would suggest the Elf Song Tavern. They probably have whatever you enjoy.
I'm thinking more like out of Baldur's Gate, like out in the world, sort of thing.
I'll tell you what.
I also presume. Yeah.
I've heard after the lads took you down last time to Vanthampur Villa that you didn't leave there fully dressed or in the best of redress either.
I did not.
And lay siege to Vanthampur Villa once again. That would probably help you.
Want me to go all the way down to Cloakwood to see the Vanthampur people?
No, I'm just suggesting if you want to get out of the city, you'd be out of my fucking hair.
I feel this is personal now.
72. What would you guys like to do?
Well, I guess we'll hop, skip, and a jump over to the Basilisk Gate. Unless Israel has a different idea.
No, I think that makes sense.
Lovely. And just for the sake of knowing what I'll need to do, what is Jade doing?
I'm going to follow them, but at a fairly annoying distance behind them. I've got nothing else to do.
I mean, why would that be an annoying distance behind them?
No, I'm just going to like annoyingly close behind them.
Oh, annoyingly close. Sorry.
Yeah, annoyingly close. Not like. Yeah, I don't know. I said annoying distance. I couldn't think of the words I wanted at the time.
That's cool.
But it's just like really annoying.
Oh, you're like one of those people that walks right behind you, and no matter how much you speed up your pace, they're still right behind you.
Those people. Yes.
You're one of them. Okay.
Yes. 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 I've just decided to tag along with you two because you seem like you've got some sort of mission, and I like it.
So you guys start to head towards the Basilisk Gate, potentially getting more and more annoyed by this very bright thing behind you. As you head on down, you come to a similar building. This time, rather than people outside asking for compensation and assistance and things, you actually find the building has been closed, but outside the front, with free kind of like tables that have been set up, there are several guards that are currently working through kind of like artillery and weaponry, just kind of like making sure everything is where it needs to be. There's stock checking and stuff like that. You can see that the easily spotted captain, due to both the insignia on his arm and also just the kind of like stature and how the others are acting around him, is the kind of like not gel but greasy hair, pulled back black hair, bearded, scraggled, kind of seems to have gone from a 5 o'clock shadow down to a fairly long kind of like stubble at this point. Seems to be barking orders left, right and centre. You would suppose this to be Captain Zodge.
And we've been followed all this way, but Yep.
And then Headache starts shouting, Zodge.
Zodge! It's me! Headache. These are my new friends. I can't remember their exact names. Something like, he points to each of you in turn, Tissue and Is It. But they're looking for you. Issue, is it? Dodge.
Did Grantham not have any time for you today? No?
So I thought, these guys don't actually know you, so I wanted to make the introductions in person.
That's right, okay. Welcome to Baldur's Gate. I'm Captain Zodge. I'm assuming from this thing's saying you're looking for me. How may I help today? I can only give a couple of minutes as we're currently gearing up for a sojourn.
Maybe we could be of assistance to you.
What do you have in mind? I've already lost 3 people after having assistance where I shouldn't have placed it.
As much as I'm sure that is a pain, and I do feel bad for your loss, our needs outweigh those of individuals.
I, by no means, trying to place a guilt upon you. I'm just saying that I'm not comfortable placing pedestrians in harm's way after already I've tripled my my death count in the last few days, and I'm not looking to add to that anytime soon.
Well, you see, we've been tasked with trying to prevent Elturel's fall with any other country, town, place, which our job is to prevent it from happening again. So if we can be of any assistance, then please do accept our help.
Look, I'm going to say this once and you didn't hear it from me, so if anything comes back to bite you on the ass, it doesn't bite me afterwards. We've had some intel after looking into these said losses that we've recently had that has led to the arrest of the children of the Vanthampur Lord. She has now scurried away to her villa to the south in Cloakwood. And we are planning to go and use this warrant, and he lifts a piece of paper, to ask one of the lords of Baldur's Gate to come in without resistance. That's what we're gearing up for. Whether that happens, I have no idea. If you would like to assist, you're welcome to join the garrison that we have here, or you're welcome to get a head start down that way. I'm sure your new headache will be able to guide you that way. He's been there once or twice.
So we heard.
It's very true.
Do you know of this location? Are you familiar with its defenses, its security?
Yes. Yes. Next question.
And what would you wish for in return?
Do you have connections within the music industry?
I know of a few musicians and singers, but not many that would perform around these parts.
I want to get out of Baldur's Gate, and I want to travel, and I want to be world famous, and I want women falling on their knees in front of me. But nowhere seems that willing to let me perform. And I don't think it's a talent thing. I think they're just stuffy and uptight. So if I can get in touch with people from other areas and network a bit, then maybe I can get my name and my renown to spread across the world. And also gold if you've got it.
Not really one for gold.
We've never really had much of a need for it.
Oh, it'd be nice. But I can, if you're going down to the villa, I can take you there and assist if you want.
I'm sure my brother and I can find some form of musician to assist your goals.
That would be very nice. Thank you. I will definitely take you up on that. Yep, I can take you to Cloakwood. Just tell me when you want to go.
Very well. Well, I feel like we should have some more information about this lord that needs to be questioned, so that we don't step on any toes.
So, the lord in question is the lord of... just pull this back up, so just double check this page. There she is. Is Thalamra van Danenpoor. She is one of the 4 lords of Baldur's Gate. We have the Grand Duke who resides over, and then 3 of the Council of 4, essentially, that help there to be less of a dictatorship. There is a council that looks after the city itself. I and the rest of the Flaming Fist work under the Grand Duke. We have reason to believe that Thanthampor had dealings in sending Raven to Elturel shortly before the fall of the city, meaning that she potentially knows how it fell and also used it for her own political gain. This was... Oh, sorry, go on.
Sorry, so you believe that she purposely sent Ravengard to Elturel, knowing it was going to fall?
It's not confirmed, however, when she is harbouring known fugitives, such as the Cult of the Dead Free, and after interrogating her children, Mortlock and Amric, we have found that there have been ties with dragon cultists as well. Apparently they've been using gold stolen from Avernus itself to pay for what's been happening. Apparently the dragon cultists are not happy with the fact that money from Tiamat's own hoard has been used on the material plane. However, we've quelled that one by giving them the gold and asking them very politely to leave. This just leaves the last stray cord that is the Vanthampors. As I say, we are heading out in the next day or so to go down there in a more legal sense of the word, to attempt to commandeer any information and items that prove this, but also to bring in the Lord Vanthampor for questioning. However, if you're heading down there by yourself and looking to do anything in a more stealthy manner, I would give you my luck. And as I say, you didn't hear it from here, but you did. Jason, and one of the lads walks over who's carrying a bag, takes the bag off him and puts it in front of you. And that should hopefully help you get through any things that they might have. And he turns and starts to walk back to look into information, the other parts of the armory that they're currently working through.
I want to look in the bag.
There are 4 potions of greater healing.
Ah!
And a small box that you would recognise to be a small incendiary item. Essentially a bomb.
Bomb. What healing does the greater healing potion do?
4d4 plus 4, I believe, is greater healing.
4d4 plus 4. And bomb.
The bomb.
Bomb.
We'll have stats for that when you use it. Or if you investigate it.
Don't think the bomb's going to assist in being stealthy. Unless it's just a
distraction.
Yeah, smoke one. Something. Fart bomb.
I think we've already got a good distraction within this little group already.
Oh, bro.
Lovely.
Oh.
Before any more happens, I am ending this episode here. Well, this has been an event.
It's been a roller coaster.
Was not expecting to end this episode the way this has, but tune in next time to see how this ragtag group of adventurers deal with the back end of the Baldur's Gate murders, and potentially how this all ties into Avernus. Potentially, it's been said once now. The word has been said.
Yes, it has been acknowledged.
Yeah,
now.
It has been.
Weirdly, as Zodge turned around, he put sunglasses on, and the Who could be heard in the background. Nobody knows why. But anyway,
yes.
Please, as we come up to the back end of August, we can't tell if it's been that hot just yet because of the fact that we've recorded at the back end of July. But if it is around the time you're watching this, stay safe, stay hydrated, be careful, love one another. But also, the best way to stay cool is to stay inside and around 2 weeks' time watch the next episode of 16 Candlekeeps, right? Or just catch up and see what I need to remind myself what's going to happen next. Watch the old episodes. It's been 6 episodes.
with some real costume changes instead of this rushed one.
But yes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Thank you, my lovelies, for playing. Please like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and all that want to say bye. Say bye.
Bye.